Hey, welcome to Tiny Mike Micro News. I'm your host, Lindsay, and today is the last day of API Awareness Month. That's Asian Pacific Islander Awareness Month, and it's also the last day of Mental Health Awareness Month. And I'm posting this on the last day of the month because as we roll right into Pride Month, I want us to keep in mind that the oppressed, marginalized, abused, and abandoned deserve our awareness every day. Today's going to be a little bit of a vulnerable share for me because I want to talk to you about mental illness. I absolutely love all of the posts and stories I've been seeing on social media about how to stay sane and how to prioritize your own mental health. What I want to talk about are the darker corners of mental health awareness. So as we grow up, our bodies tend to betray us, right? Sometimes with disease and sometimes just with age. And as we grow up, we might also find that at times our minds can betray us too. Unhealthy obsession, a bad breakup, a bad trip. But for some, life is a perpetual betrayal of the mind. And there is so much shame around mental illness and almost this hopelessness. And I want to be a part of changing that. And here's why. My brother Justin is a paranoid schizophrenic. And it has not only defined his life, but it has also shaped my own. My brother and other people with severe or debilitating mental illness do not typically have the capacity for or access to the tools and resources that we can find on social media or online in general. And I want to call awareness to how informed we are. What is our base level of education around mental illness? More specifically, I want to call awareness to our tolerance and our compassion for those that suffer. The onset of this illness was when I was young. We were both very young. And I found God, I found the universe, I found so many books. I found out what codependency was. But beyond all of that, I found my desire to help. I found my desire to make life better for people now. Because you will never get used to suffering. It will feel new every time, and it will feel uncomfortable to witness every time. What I've observed in my own life and in others is when the suffering around us is too high, we have to set a limit for how much we can tolerate, how much we're able to look at. And I call these boundaries. And we need boundaries in every aspect of our lives to maintain our peace and to maintain our stability. But what's dangerous is being unwilling to acknowledge or even look at the suffering of others because it's too hard. It disconnects you from humanity. It disassociates you from your neighbor. It's dangerous because it's also contagious. When you have masses of people that are unable to look at the pain or suffering of another people, you have conflict, extremism, racism, sexism, ableism, literally all of the bad isms. As Americans wrap up our Memorial Day celebrations and we end this month and move into Pride Month, I invite you to choose expansion. Expansion for your tolerance for witnessing suffering. Tolerance for the differences that fill up the space between you and another person, you and another culture, you and another lifestyle. And the reason it's so important to continually reassess our personal boundaries with the suffering of others is because when we look and we really see, when we let ourselves really feel, it is impossible not to take action when we witness an injustice. In choosing not to look away, in choosing to feel the pain and unjust suffering of another human being, we choose action. We explode into action. The tolerance and the courage it takes to question what we know and what we don't know as we continue to move through months that are literally dedicated to the awareness of marginalized, oppressed, harassed, and those with unstable realities. That's how a country begins to heal. And that's how we make space for belonging. Coming in hot today. I get excited. But I hope you remember, there is no voice too small to be heard. Keep your ears open, keep your heart open. And we'll see you next time on Tiny Mike Micro News.